Welcome to Theia's MCR IQ video series. In this series, we will cover how to access the setup guide and install the MCR IQ control software, connect Theia's motorized lenses to the MCR IQ motor control board, use the MCR IQ control software, and change the communication protocol. Purchase of the MCR IQ motor control board comes with a royalty-free license to the software application and user interface. The package label for the controller board has a QR code where you can download the link to the setup guide. Open up the MCR IQ setup guide, and the first link in the guide will take you to the location where you can download the control software. From the Dropbox location, you can download and install the MCR IQ software. Be sure to unzip it and save it in a place where you can find it later, and add a desktop shortcut so that you can quickly access the control program. The package label for the controller board has a QR code where you can download the link to the setup guide. For the MCR IQ 400 and MCR IQ 600 controller boards and similar ones, they are set up like this with a USB connector on that side. This is for I2C and UART input as well as power. This is for the photo interrupter limit switches. And then over here you have connectors for the motors on the lens. If you're using a R6 or N6 lens, it will have the photo interrupter cable, this flat cable, and what you're looking for is the gold connectors on that side. And you lift up on this small bail here, put the gold connectors away from the bail, and then push that in to secure the cable in place. Both the R4, N4, and R6 and N6 versions will have these three sets of connectors. This is for the focus and zoom connectors, motors, and you look for the side that is the flat side, the white side, that goes towards the board, just like that. The iris connector is the 4-pin connector. Again, flat side, the white side, that goes towards the board. And then the 2-pin is for the IR cut switch inside the lens. And that connects there. And then on the other side, you just connect your USB or your I2C or UART connection to the computer. If you have a lens that has the -R5 or -N5 series, then that will have a different connector and will not include the IR cut 2-pin connector. And if the lens is a -R3 or -N3, then it does not have the photo interrupter limit cable either. But in either of these cases, 3s or 5s, you want to get the MCR IQ 500 board. And in that case, if you have the photo interrupter connector, you just lift up, look for the gold contacts, put them in the photo interrupter cable connector and push down the bail there. The focus and zoom motors will have the 8-pin connector, and for that you just plug that into the connector here. And in this case you also have a EYC221 connector, which is made to connect into this adapter connector on the end of the board here. And this has a key on the bottom, so that connects in only one direction. And that is for the MCR IQ 500. The first step is to start up your camera and view an image. Here I am using the ST Viewer software that came with my camera, but you may be using a different image viewing software. Secondly, start up the Theia MCR IQ control software. You can see the image is currently not in focus. To set the lens to a known position, I can first of all select the correct COM port so I can talk to the lens, and also make sure that the correct lens type is selected. In this case, it's a 1250p N6 lens. And I initialize the motors and set them to a known home position. In this case, it's moving both the motors to the photo interrupter positions and setting the starting step numbers to 3119 for zoom and 7959 for focus. I can do relative movements, 1,000 steps towards the telephoto position, 1,000 steps towards the near or far position. Alternately, if I know the position that I'm trying to go to, I can type it in here and do an absolute movement. In this case, it will move the motor to the photo interrupter home position and then to the step number that was set. From here, I can fine-tune the focus 100 steps at a time towards the near until I achieve the proper focus. Depending on the focal length, the minimum number of focus steps that you'll actually see a difference is in the order of 30 or 40 steps. So it doesn't make sense to do steps less than that. I can also choose to close the iris up to 75 steps, set it back to 0 to fully open it. For the R4, N4, R6, and N6 versions, there is an interchangeable filter built into the lens. In this case, it's Visible plus IR, which is a clear filter, number 2, or I can set it to IR blocking, visible only filter number 1. Finally, there are settings where you can control the focus motor speeds of 1,000 for focus and zoom and 100 steps per second for the iris. The min and maximum ranges are listed in the specification. In this video, I will show you how to change the input to the MCR IQ board. This is applicable to any of the boards, MCR IQ 400, 405, 500, 505, or 600. They are set up like this with a USB connector on that side. This is for I2C and UART input as well as power. Once you have the board connected via USB connection and you open up the Theia IQ control software, you can initialize the motors if you wish, or you can go directly to the settings control. In here it says change communication path, and you simply click on that and choose the proper path. And then when you click on save, it will let you change the setting to that new communication path. This will then quit the program because USB will no longer be active if you switch to UART or I2C. The next step is, of course, to hook up the electrical connections, and these are specified in the operator's manual. Here you can see in section 3.3.2, there's the I2C connection, and in 3.3.3 is the UART connection. Make sure that the cables are properly connected with power and ground, and then you should be able to control using the same commands over either of those other two communication protocols. For more information and technical support, contact TheiaTechnologies at TheiaTech.com/contact or email us at info@TheiaTech.com. For MCR IQ motor control board specifications and CAD drawings, visit TheiaTech.com/MCR IQ.